You know, Florida's been dry as a bone lately, and that's exactly when folks get complacent. June 1st is right around the corner, and every year Florida people do the same damn thing. They wait till the shelves are empty, the gas stations are packed, and that's when panic hits. That's not preparedness, that ain't survival. Today I'm showing you what exactly I carry in my Blackout kit heading into hurricane season 2026, and why after Hurricane Helene and Milton, there's things I'll never go without again. Stay tuned, guys. Let's dive into this. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Florida Cracker Survival. So guys, today we're going to dive into what I'm carrying in my 2026 Blackout kit going into hurricane season. That's right around the corner, as I said in the opening of this. June 1st starts hurricane season. It runs June 1st to November 30th. So we're fixing to buckle down, but this is what I keep packed all the time, guys, with me. And what I want to do before we dive into this kit is I want to take you guys back to 2024. Back in 2024, Hurricane Helene hit us first. We got a lot of wind, a lot of rain, a lot of storm debris. We were in the middle of cleaning that up when a week later, Milton came through. And when Milton came through, let me just tell you guys, Milton slapped us in the face. Slapped my family so hard, guys. So, you know, like I said, we were dealing with crazy winds, a lot of debris going into this, and then we get the news that Milton's coming. And that's when I said to my family, we need to really prepare for this, guys. We dodged a bullet with Helene. Let's take Milton a little more serious. So we went out, we got what supplies we could get at that time because, again, we'd already gone through one and we wasn't really prepared. So I put together what I thought was going to be a good kit for 2024, and we'll get into, as we go along this, I'll tell you some of the mistakes that I made along the way. But guys, when Milton came, you know, we lost power for 6 days at my in-laws' house where we were staying at, and another day and a half to 2 days at our house due to Tico having to come out and restore some of the power poles and things. So, you know, it was really devastating for my family, guys. And, you know, at the time, I thought I had a solid Blackout kit set up, you know. Truth is, some of it worked, a lot of it didn't. And a lot we were missing, you know. We survived on 10 of these little power banks, guys. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to dive into this whole kit. But I wanted to, you know, just tell you guys, you know, we didn't have a generator. We had poor fuel planning. You know, lots of gaps in my preparedness, but I was new into this and I didn't really know what I needed, but I'm learning. So let's get into some of the stuff that I've got and go from there, guys, and we'll just dive in. So, you know, after we dealt with Milton coming through, you know, we were dealing with winds of 85, 90 mile an hour at that time. I think it was, I don't know, it was 2 years ago, guys, and I try to block that memory out as much as I can. But there are some things that, you know, I took away from that storm. You know, the aftermath of it was huge for me. I've been in them as a kid, but I'd never been in them to this magnitude. And we rode around and looked at, you know, all of the storm debris, and some of the houses that, guys, were my neighbors are gone. Like, I remember my neighbor's roof, or screened in porch on his front porch, was completely blown away, guys. I had roof damage. A lot of people had roof damage. My in-laws had a tree that fell down in the backyard. We spent 2 days cutting that up. But guys, what got me the most was once the power came back on, we ended up losing our washer, dryer. The stove about burned our house down. But what really got me, guys, was it was so bad that my wife looked at me and told me that our house didn't feel like home anymore. And that hit me, guys. And I knew that I needed to do something as a husband and a father to be more prepared for this. And that's why I built this kit, and that's why I tell you guys, come along with me and follow me and learn with me as I learn, because I want to learn and I want to be as prepared for my family as I can. So, you know, this storm taught me that preparedness ain't paranoia, y'all. It's a peace of mind knowing that if the lights go out today, I can essentially reach in here and grab my 6-hour or my 4-hour emergency candles that I keep, flashlights. Guys, I keep it, you know, all that with me. But that's not being paranoid, that's being prepared. And there's a difference. And a lot of people, I feel like, get that mixed up. So, after Milton, one thing I learned real quick was water, guys. Water is key. And I got, you know, a few different ways that we can do water. You know, we got these when Milton came through. We went through some of our local FEMA programs and got emergency waters. Guys, I now have purification tablets that we could purify water. You guys remember the Grail? It'll do 350 presses for, I forget exactly how many gallons of water, but we'll put that in the screen. But guys, we've got that now. We've always had our life straws. So water is key. But one thing that people do forget to do is you got to remember food as well, guys. And I have these MREs that were given to us for Milton too. But you could purchase like the Mountain House meals, things like that. They're easy to store. They last, you know, they got a really long shelf life to them. But you want to have at least 3 days worth of meals and water. And remember, guys, with the water, it needs to be 1 gallon per day per person, including your pets. Same with food. Make sure you have at least 3 days worth of food on hand. And with us being without power for 6 days, we had to make sure we had even more than that. So another good thing you can do is any kind of canned goods. They've got good shelf lives. Like this one here doesn't expire until 2028. So, and this is just Vienna sausage bites. But guys, food and water is definitely key in this. So make sure you guys are stocking plenty of that. Let's roll into some of the next stuff. Let's talk about power problems. So let's dive into problem number 2 that we're going to face, guys. The power is going to go out. Trees are going to go down. It's going to take out power lines. You're going to be without power. So what do we do to prepare for that aspect of what we're going to face? So with that, guys, 10 of these little power banks kept me and my family's phones and other essentials powered up for six days for power for the phones. We did end up getting a power inverter that a friend of my father-in-law's, his power came back on early, so he donated and loaned us a 2200 watt Honda inverter to power the refrigerator and my mother-in-law's CPAP, because for a couple of days, guys, after the power went out, she had no CPAP and she could not sleep for nothing, guys. Since then, my wife and I, we decided that we're going to make that leap and we're going to get what we need, and we bought a 5500 watt Westinghouse generator to go along with this kit for us now. But power banks are essential, guys. Keep those on hand. Flashlights, definitely, so that you can see in the dark. You don't want to be, you know, walking around your house in the dark. Candles, not only do they provide light, guys, but if it's cold out, it'll provide a little bit of heat. If you put a little candle, and I've shown it before and I'll show it again, you could take a poncho, guys, and put a poncho over you and put that little candle in between your legs, and it'll essentially warm the inside of that poncho up and keep you warm and keep you survived. So candles are essential, guys. Don't sleep on candles. Staying informed, guys, that's problem number 3, because when the power goes out, you have no TV, so you can't get the local news and things like that you would normally get day to day. So having a way to listen to weather bands, guys, this is a Bluetooth radio. It's a power bank. This thing does it all, guys. This is my never die little, it's got a flashlight on it, it's got everything. But most importantly, guys, is it's a weather radio, and it'll pick up AM, FM stations, it'll pick up weather bands, and it also, guys, is an emergency. You can crank the hell out of that thing and essentially get power. It takes an awful dang long time to do it, but it'll, you know, in a pinch you can do it. But if this is charged up, and it is solar, so you can sit it out in the sun, and I tested that out during Milton, and it'll charge it. Takes forever, but it will charge it. But guys, having an emergency radio is key in these, you know, survival things too. Family check-ins is important, guys. Get a set of walkie-talkies You know, just a set of VHF little walkie-talkies, you know, they might pick up just a mile range or something like that, guys. But if you're around the house and your power goes out and you lose cell service, having that walkie-talkie is going to be key to be able to communicate with your family. And if you get a good set, you guys can reach out there for quite a few miles on a good day and be able to talk to them as well. So, you know, I don't have any yet, but it is in my bucket list to put a set of walkie-talkies into this Blackout kit. So let's talk about power restoration, guys. When the power comes back on, you know, everybody, they don't think that you might want to reach in there and flip that main breaker off. Let the power come back on and then turn your breaker back on, so that this way, if there's any power surges along the line when they reboot it, it's not going to fry your stuff. So take preparedness in that as well. Let's get into problem number 4, guys, and what happens if civilization collapses. Now, when I say civilization collapses, I'm not talking about people rioting and looting in the street. Now, however, that may happen, and I do hope that you carry, you know, 2A stuff to protect yourself in that aspect. I don't have any of the 2A here because YouTube frowns upon it. I do have it with me, it's just not on camera. But what I'm talking about, when civilization collapses, guys, morale goes down quick when the power goes out. And if you have little ones, you know, they're used to being on them phones and on the internet and on the computers and doing things like that. And when the power goes out, guys, they're not gonna be able to do that. So you wanna be able to keep them occupied so that they're not driving you insane. A simple deck of cards, guys, playing Uno or Rummy or something like that, that's a morale booster right there, guys. You may not think about it in times of our busy lives today, but when the power goes down and there's nothing to do, that'll keep morale up. Board games, anything like that you guys could stock up on those now while the weather's beautiful for a rainy day, because those just might save your sanity. Another thing, guys, I don't know about y'all, but I run on caffeine and high adrenaline. And if I don't have my coffee, civilization is going to collapse real bad. So I keep, you know, I pick these up at the Dollar Tree, guys. 6 of them for $1.25. Can't go wrong with it. I keep these in my backpacks. I keep these in my hiking pack. A good cup of coffee out on the trail on a hot day, you may not think it, but it's refreshing, guys. So always keep morale boosters with you. You never know, you know, what situation you're going to run into. And, you know, you pull out that Monopoly game, things are going to get serious, guys. So think about, you know, when you're building kits like this, throwing in some decks of cards, some phase 10, Uno, things like that to keep you guys, you know, your mind off of what's going on out here. You know, yeah, you're going to be out there, you're going to be cleaning up, you're going to be doing things like that. But when you're hunkered down, guys, something like a deck of cards will keep the family going and keep their minds off of what's happening outside. So, you know, that's what I carry in these kits, guys. And I do it because I want to be prepared for my family, and I want my family to have the most success coming out of these storms, guys, because 2024 taught me that shit gets real quick. So let's talk about some of the mistakes that people often make when they're building these things, guys. You know, waiting too long to get the supplies. Guys, don't wait until June 1st. Go out there today. They're going to be rolling out. I don't know about your counties when they, you know, when it's storm season in your area, but I know in Florida, they do hurricane tax breaks, and every hurricane supply is tax free. So that's when you guys want to stock up. But remember, guys, everybody else is stocking up then too. So you might have to pay a little bit more to get the product that you need, but you'll have it when you need it, and you won't be out there like all these other psychos running to get it at the last minute. So don't be that guy, you know. Panic buying, guys. Don't panic buy. Don't go out and buy, if your family doesn't eat beans, don't go out and buy 30 cans of beans, because you're never going to eat them. So when you're stocking up on food, get things that you know your family eat, because if you don't eat it during the storm, you can always eat it before the expiration date. Well, let's see. I've wrote some notes down here, guys, so that, you know, remember, 1 gallon of water per person per day. A lot of people make that mistake of thinking that a gallon of water is going to stretch them, you know, they're going to go out there and be able to survive for 6 months on a gallon of water. Don't be that person either. Here's the kicker. And you'll be shocked how many folks forget. Food. Batteries. Guys, those are key essential items when that power goes down. So don't be the guy getting left out in the storm. So listen, I hope Florida doesn't throw another storm like Helene or Milton at us, guys. But if they do, I'm hoping that with this kit and other stuff that I've gathered along the way, helps my family be just that much more prepared for any of these storms that come up. So if you guys have made it this far in the video and you guys found this content, you know, to be helpful, knowledgeable, or if you think that I forgot something in the kit, comment below, guys, and let me know. What's in your guys' 2026 storm loadout blackout kits? Comment below and let me know. And guys, remember, out here, the wild don't care, but the prepared, we survive. I'll see you on the next